faff. I bought a new camera and I had a massive faff getting it to work. So my tea has gone cold and time has passed and I forgot what I was going to do. Okay, so what happened last time? So we will follow. So what our Ironsworn Starforged says that we should begin the session. When you begin a significant session or chapter of play, well, each session is significant. Do all of the following: identify or adjust flagged content and set a flag. I don't think there's anything beyond what I know myself. Review or recap what happened last session, which is what I'll do. Set the scene by envisaging your current situation and intent. Right, so we saw Aija in the past, and we saw how they became injured when investigating and confronting a smuggler from Aija's past, the people smuggler Isaac Mackinson. Isaac swiftly, so Isaac obviously is very short, or was in the past short-tempered, because Isaac slashed out at Aija and injured Aija quite badly. Then we saw Aija in a medical facility being healed, and then Aija swore their iron vow, which was to uncover the criminal corruption occurring in the sector, and the sector being Steigen Moor, specifically coming to the settlement of Ramshackle, where we are now, and investigating criminal activity that has been reportedly occurring in Ramshackle. I spoke to a member of the research personnel. It's not a very big place, Ramshackle. It's quite a small planet-based settlement on the planet of Cobalt, I believe, which is a rocky world, quite a desolate rocky world with, I don't know if I went through this, quite a desolate rocky world with a very thin atmosphere. It's many barren rocky plains, so I'm imagining Mars currently, basically current Mars, although I don't think we have been into Mars, i.e. gone into any cave systems. There's that one image that looks like a door in a wall, but would potentially be a cave system. So I'm imagining a Mars, but with a thin atmosphere. I don't know if Mars has a thin atmosphere. Barren, rocky plains, lots of cave systems. There's a settlement which has been built up very much like The Martian. I'm envisaging like The Martian, but it's a large multi-part, so a bit like the research facilities that you would find in the Antarctic. I think it's Antarctic Circle. What's it? There's the Arctic and Antarctic, whatever the northern one is. Or is it the southern one? The southern one, I think. That one, because that's the neutral territory one, isn't it? That everybody is allowed to. No one can stake claim to that land. Where in the cave systems there is this life form, this lichen mossy type life form, and something about it produces medical. So it's like an agriculture. So there's agriculture. So there's this mossy thing that grows there. As it is termed agriculture, this planet producer, this element produces agriculture as well as medicinal. I would say that this has a agricultural, so possibly a food or a feed of some kind, as well as medicinal. And several recordings ago, I mentioned insectoid cattle. Insectoid cattle. I remembered where that was from. That was from Futurama. That was the ladybug things from Futurama, where I can't remember her name. The young girl, her family are it's actually on Mars, if I remember rightly. Cattle farmers. I haven't seen all of those on cattle farmers. So anyway, this is Ramshackle, and Aya has spoken to a Cursor Car. Cursor Car works in the docks, so there's only a few people. There's about 20 odd people, 20, 30 odd people, though they come and go because it's a major point there, a major point of transportation. So the passageways coming from outer sector, and then coming, because that's backwards, coming that way. So it's a central point here to come up to either parts or possibly travel out into deep space. I'm imagining there's some stuff out here. I think I'm going to end up having to come to this place, this deep space settlement. Which one's the deep space? Argosy. It's quite big, hundreds of people, entertainment migration, and then possibly looking out here to uncover the criminal activities. So Aya has spoken to Cursor. Cursor needed some medical treatment for Cursor's daughter. Aya recovered that from the one person we knew about on this before, Merrick Petrov. Merrick seen quite. He's obviously holding a secret. He wants to speak to Aya after Aya has finished her investigations on places. Cursor has told Aya that there are some strange shipments coming to the port, and when that happens, Cursor and the other, not many, ship workers who work on the ports are basically paid off to turn a blind eye and to leave, to not be there when the shipment comes in. So Cursor doesn't know what the shipment was or is. And Cursor has told, so time has passed since that's happened. We don't know how long. I could have done other things, but we'll just skip over that and just skip forwards. And so where we are now is Aya has been told by Cursor that they have been paid off and that a shipment is coming in, and it will be coming in this evening. And Aya has gone to investigate. Now I might need some NPCs because people might get a bit antsy about a paladin coming in and asking questions. Now that was some of the things I was thinking about. I was thinking in this vein. So if Aya turns up and Aya starts asking questions, so these are vows. Do we do that for this? Does this become? This becomes. Well, it becomes a conflict, doesn't it? So it's less of a vow, and it's more of a sort of a situation that Aya wants to get information about, I suppose. So what? Didn't really look at these progress tracks. So this becomes something with a progress track, I guess. Yes, because this is how a confrontation or a combat comes about, where we set what our objective is, and then we work our way towards our objective. So that's what this is. This is a scene. This is a scene. I don't really know how this works. I've not played anything like this before. I come from more the direction of the little figures moving around on a board. Though I have played Dungeons & Dragons as a theatre of the mind. So, the transportation craft Orca has landed. The port is empty. There's boxes and crates around the place. The loader that Cursor was piloting is standing there. Though the doors to the port were closed, Cursor has either given Aya the key or left it unlocked. So Aya is coming into the docks to confront, doesn't know who's in there. The communication, so Legrand has informed Aya that well, I tell you what, let's we could do that. I don't know. There's potential that it will succeed, and I don't know if I want Aya to know. So what I was thinking was potentially Aya could ask Legrand as an AI. Well, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We will do this actually. We'll do this. So Aya was putting on their armor. Was putting on their armor to go off and confront our baddies on what they're doing, what shipments are coming through. Aya, of course, suspects the worst and suspects that this is human trafficking. I don't know what it is. We'll roll to see what it is. It suspects that it's human trafficking, so Aya is concerned that there are people that Aya needs, because people, as I said last session, Aya sees their self as a tool of justice and a tool of righteousness. Not so badly as Judge Dredd, but along those veins I was thinking. So this card for the module, the Overseer, says your AI module keeps watch over the vehicle systems and sensor data. When you secure an advantage or gain ground by talking through a situation with the Overseer, you may roll plus integrity. If you do, take +1 momentum on a hit. When you withstand damage, the Overseer can pilot the vehicle independently. When you face danger by... No, I don't think so. I think that's basically for ship-to-ship combat. That's for when I'm piloting, which will come in, which will happen, but not yet, not today. So today I think it's just going to be Aya with their armor and sleuthing. So Aya will potentially... So, all right. All righty tighty. We have a situation. So what the situation is this is Aya. So the objective is Aya confronts the criminals, the crims, and finds out what they're doing. What they're doing. I don't think it's formidable. Potentially, being a sleuth, is Aya gathering information? What does gathering information say? Gathering information says, when you search for clues, conduct an investigation, analyze evidence, or do research. So Aya is conducting an investigation. Aya is, in the first instance, going in to find out what they are doing. So Aya is first off thinking that they are going in with the intention of speaking to people, with the intention of asking some questions, with the intention of asking to see what's in maybe some crates or in some holds, and to make sure that everything is legal and above board, which of course Aya knows it isn't, because you don't pay off people to turn a blind eye if it's legal and above board. So Aya, through process of elimination, knows that this isn't proper. Now, it's not just troublesome, it's not just people. These are people who might potentially attempt to shoot Aya. So it might turn to a combat, or it might turn to a series of questions or interrogations, or Aya looking into things. So how would that work? That would be Aya looking. So we would want to reach our goal is we've got a conclusion. So assume that means that we do some sort of progress roll against this bar. So I've written it down into one of these things. I think this is easier. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with these recordings. I might put them on. Somebody may be watching this at some point, sometime. This is recorded on. It's a Sunday, the 25th of June. And it's about 4:20. I've got about an hour left, and then I have to stop. And this has been going 15 minutes, and I've gone nowhere in 15 minutes. So I do apologise, anybody who's watching. You can see my process of thought. I don't know if you're going to find this boring. I don't know if anyone will ever watch this. I don't know if I'll ever put it up for anyone to watch it. But anyway, so I think this is how this is supposed to work. So I think this is supposed to work that I have an objective. And it might end up being combat. And the objective is to confront the criminals, which I'm assuming they're criminals, and find out what they're doing. Now, is it troublesome? No, it's more than just troublesome. So it's more than me just questions. Is it formidable? I don't think at this point it's formidable. So I think at this point it's dangerous. So I assume that means that every success moving way forwards. So this is not a vow, but it's an activity that would work towards my uncovering criminal corruption vow, and maybe something else. So it is dangerous, so that would be 2 with every. So, okay. So, first off, when you attempt to do something risky or react to no, secure an advantage, no, gather information, compel, no, Aija, no, do check my gear, no, because I'm not at that point. I'm going in. So Aija has gone to the door, opened the door, stepped in. What does Aija see? So I imagine Aija is seeing some crates being moved about. Let's see what the descriptor comes up with. So I want to know. Okay, I tell you what, let's do, first off, let's see how many people. Let's ask. Let's think. That's it. All right, so we're not going to set this yet. So what I'm going to think is if this is about 4 people, Aija thinks this is dangerous. If this is more than 4 people, then this might be formidable because this might break into something. So we will ask the oracle. So I'm thinking 50-50. We've got a 50-50. It's 50-50 chance at this point is it's 4 or under, which means it's dangerous. So 0 to 50. No, it's so what do we want? On a match envisage, so 1 is likely, I'm on the table below to see if it's true or not. Okay, 50% or less is a yes. So 50% or less, and yes, there's not all of them. We've all seen the film Reacher, Jack Reacher, so we know not everyone gets involved in the fight. 89. Okay, 89, so no. So this might be, so instead of just being dangerous, this might be formidable. In which case I might be sensible to walk away because it's just Aija. But righteous fury. So I'm going to keep it as dangerous. Let's say like 6, less than 6, so 5 or 6. No, 86. Oh man, this one's a big crew. All right, so this is a crew. This is because I reckon 6 people. So we've got a crew of at least 6 that we can see. So there are at least 6 crew that we can see. Okay. I think 6 versus 1, and if it Okay, 50 and under. Yes, they are armed. Armed. Okay. So they are, we have armed crew. All right, they're moving boxes, they're moving things. Let's see what they're moving. Descriptor and focus. So, green descriptor, red focus. 28, something deadly 04 archive. Deadly archive. Deadly archive. All right, I'm just going to write down deadly archive for now. Deadly archive. All right. So I'm going to count these as pirates. These are going to count as pirates. I think they're called drift pirates. So drift pirates are dangerous. Pirate boarding party. All right, so that does come out as formidable. So this is formidable. So there's a good few things. So 40 minutes. 40 minutes? 40 minutes. Okay, let's see how long it takes Aija to confront these people. So, envisage the scene. Aija steps out of the shadows of the port, very much like I think it was the port, the docks in The Expanse. Steps out of the docks in Expanse. Some people in military-like garb. They carry rifles. I'm thinking these are slug throwers, so probably caseless firearms. They would be, let me think, so you wouldn't want it to pierce the hull, so these would be low power firearms, which would still cause problems, but they don't go, so the ones they're carrying don't go very far distances, but if they shoot Aija, she will know about it, but she does have a body arm. So weapon in holster. Aija steps forwards, raises the visor on her helm so she has eye contact and steps forwards, and is going to confront. So we've got two blokes with power lifter, so they're not in the power armor like Cursor was, but they've got power pallets, and they're moving product, these largest crates, deadly archive. Like, we'll have to roll again to try and find out more details about that. So these old looking crates, they're moving them, let's see, between ships. Are they moving them between ships, or are they moving? So let's do the action bit. An action theme. Green action, red theme. 4865. So 48 follow 65 pride. Follow pride. Doesn't make any sense. I'm going to roll again. 53 hold 85 hold superstition. 86 is supply. Hold supply. All right. Okay. How about they're actually keeping stuff here in the caves, those cave networks I was talking about earlier, and that's what's actually causing some problems with the fact that it's a vulnerable life form and we've got an impending natural disaster, is that they're unloading. So they're unloading the cargo, and it looks like they're storing it here. So that means that after I've confronting this, I could go to wherever they're storing and try and find out where that is. Storing in cave network on planet. So that means I could do a bit of an exploration, a bit of an explore to try and find the caves at some point. But at this point, so Aya has seen these largest crates sealed up, hasn't really had a chance to have a good look at them. There's 6 crew. It's not an exploration move at the moment. It's not a connection move. It's not a quest move. It could be an adventure move. We're not hit a combat move yet. All right. Face danger. When you attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat, envisage your action roll. With resolve, command, or sociability. Okay, I'm going to say that Aya is going to step forward, making sure that they have some crates to dive into cover if they open fire. And Aya is going to, I mean, these are pirates. I think they're just going to open up anyway, but Aya's going to attempt to get an advantage and start talking to them. They're not going to be happy. No one should see this stuff. I think I'm assuming that Aya is going to succeed in this role, and thus it's going to be a bit, of a fizz because Aya is good at talking. So Aya is going to attempt to face danger, and Aya is going to attempt to resolve this using sociability. So, good evening, people. I'm just going for a walk, and I could hear you working in here. It's a bit late to be loading and unloading crates, don't you think? Everyone stops, dead still. Those carrying firearms bring them to bear, and everyone looks a bit shocked. So this is potentially facing danger. This is a heart roll. See, I assumed I would succeed. I moment, that is a miss. So, miss. You fail, or a momentary success is undermined by dire turn of events. Pay the price. So we don't get a success. So what does pay the price? So I haven't done this, so this is why I don't mind doing it. Otherwise, I could use burn my momentum, which is an 8. And I'll just get a minor hit, but I think that's better to be safe, just in case I need it in a minute. So, when you suffer the outcome of action, choose one. Make the most obvious negative outcome happen, which is they instigate combat. Ask the oracle for inspiration. Interpret the answer as a hardship or complication appropriate. Roll on the table below. If the result doesn't fit, roll again. All right, I'm going to roll anyway, just for the sheer jolly heck of it. But I think they're just going to open up. So we've got 57. Your equipment or vehicle malfunction. We've got your vehicle suffers damage or a friend, companion, or ally is harm's way. Nah. So I think it's clear that what they do is we go to a combat. Formidable is 1 tick, so that means I've got quite a few things. So all right. So, or would they go straight to shooting the shit out of me? Probably not. They are, though they are pirates, they do pay people off. So maybe, but I am clearly a paladin. So what do they say? Cunning, body piercings, scars, mutations, cobble together starships, survive for whatever means necessary, climb the ranks and provide self in combat, build a mighty fleet. I think these are meant to be the thingies from Firefly. Reavers, that's it. Okay, so these aren't Reavers, these are just criminals. Is there any other? Do they have a list of the baddies? I don't think it really matters. These are criminals. So they are criminals. So scrap bandits or criminals, same sort of thing. 6 of them. There's 1 of me. They're going to say, turn around, walk away. It's not much of a pay the price. Turn around, walk away. Aya says, I don't think I can do that. And at that point, we'll instigate a combat. I just think with the combat being formidable, it's going to take me a while to actually get there. Though I could then use that. I don't know. No, I can't burn momentum. I don't think I can burn momentum on a. I don't think I can burn momentum on a progress roll. This is all the stuff that you're not supposed to do. Progress check, progress moves. You cannot burn momentum on a progress roll. You do not suffer negative momentum. And I cannot burn momentum on a progress roll. So, we are forced into combat. Envisage your objective and give it a rank. If the combat includes discrete challenges or phases, set an objective. So, the objective is, I've got a twofold thing. I'm confronting them, which I'm doing. I'm either bringing them to justice or I'm finding out what's inside these crates. So that's my objective. My objective would be twofold. Open up a crate and find out what's in it. Or I can find out where they're taking these crates to. So that's a couple of things I can do. So in the heat of combat, I could try and take someone and question them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring 6 of them in. I think if I succeed, then it's basically going to be that. So statistically, if I can do 6 or 7 things, then it gives me a statistic chance of actually succeeding on this roll. Okay. So they open fire on Aya. Okay. If the combat includes discrete challenges or phases, set an objective with. Hold on. So it says, envisage your objective and give it a rank. If the combat includes discrete challenges or phases, set an objective with a rank for each. All right. Okay. So we wouldn't do that bit. So that's not confronting. So we've got. All right. So that's okay. So we've got rank for each. Then roll to see if you are in control. Right. So what do we have? We have. See what's in the crates. Actually, I could do this here rather than do that there. We've got combat in the port, which is weird. They've not seen this in ages. So we have what's in the box. What's in the box? Where also that's dangerous. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. What's in the box? And then we have set an objective or rank for each. So that's dangerous. And then we have Bring them in. Bring them to justice. Bring them to justice. We'll make that so. Make that formidable then. And that is also then. I need 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11. 10. That'll be it. Okay. What time have we got? Okay, I've got about half an hour. So, enter the fray. When you initiate combat or are forced into combat, done that. So we've got two objectives, which is see what's in one of those boxes and bring them to justice. Set an objective. So we're diving to the side. Then roll to see if you are in control. If you are on the move, roll plus edge. Facing off against your foe, roll plus heart. In the thick of it, at close quarters, roll plus iron. Preparing to act against the unaware. Caught in a trap or sizing up the situation, roll plus wits. So I think, I'm going to go heart, aren't I? So am I facing off against my foes? I pretty much am facing off against my foes. So I'm facing off against my foes to see. So we've got plus heart. Nothing to do with the fact that one of the dice I rolled was a 9. Yay! So I rolled a 1, 2, which is 2 plus my heart, which is 5. So we are in control. On a strong hit, take both. So we get plus 2 momentum, which puts us to 10 momentum. So we'll definitely burn that during this. And we are in control. So let's see if we can. So we'll say there's 2 or 3 with weapons. So we've got 50%. Yes. So there's 2 with guns. 2 with guns. And that means there's 4 doing the loading. So I'm going to say that there's 2 moving crates and there's 2 loading a vehicle. All right, so I need to take out ones with guns and then maneuver myself to the vehicle to make sure that vehicle can't go anywhere. So if I shoot the vehicle, that's a success moving forwards to bring them to justice. But we can only do one at a time. So first off, we're going to start taking them down, bring them to justice, and then we might start moving over, maneuvering towards the boxes. So what have I got? When you face danger, react under fire or clash against physical attacks or impact, you may put trust in your armor strength. If you do, preset your action die to 4. On a strong hit with a match, take plus 2 momentum as you build confidence and make an impression on your foes or improve your position. Okay, so very confusing, very confused. So I've got control. So what can I do when I'm in control? In control or in a bad spot. In a fight, your character is in 2 positions, in control or in a bad spot. If I'm in control, I can make a proactive move such as gaining ground and striking. So I can gain ground when I'm in control and take action in a fight to reinforce your position or move towards an objective. Envisage your approach. Right, I'm going to move towards the vehicle. I'm going to start fight, pull out. I'm going to be a bit thingy. Mandalorian from Rebels. I've forgotten her name. Pull out 2 pistols and I'm going to attempt to start laying down suppressing fire whilst moving towards the vehicle with the intent to isolate the vehicle and stop them getting away. So I'm trying to pin the two guys with guns down, moving towards the vehicle, which is formidable. So at this stage, it's formidable. So this is gaining ground in pursuit, fleeing, or maneuvering. So I could be said I'm maneuvering. Charging boldly into action, coming to the aid of others, negotiating, or commanding. Am I charging boldly into? Well, I'm maneuvering. So I'm not just maneuvering. I'm charging forwards towards the vehicle. All right. So I'm going to say I'm charging forwards towards the vehicle, which is plus half. So on a hit, I stay in control. On a strong hit, I choose 2. On a weak hit, I choose 1. So I've got so what was that? So it's heart. So it's a 6. So I rolled a 6. I rolled a 6, which means that with plus the 3 gives me a 9, which is only a weak hit, so that doesn't count. So I've got a weak hit, which means I'm still in control, and I can pick one. I can mark progress, take plus 2 momentum, plus 1 to my next move. So I'm going to mark progress. I'm marking progress towards bringing them in. So I've steamed forwards, opening fire to isolate those. I've repositioned myself and gained ground, so I'm halfway between the vehicle from where I was. They will be attempting to start up the vehicle, but it's not quite taking at the moment because of my gaining ground. Okay, I think it's time that I'm going to attempt to shoot at the people with guns to knock this down a bit, because this is getting a bit hasty, and I'm not quite at any of the boxes yet to attempt to have a look at what's in the boxes. So Aija is going to do range attacks against the 2 with guns, attempting to suppress the 2 with guns. This is where Aija may burn their momentum. So this is a attack at distance, which is plus edge, which is my edge is 2. Damn. Okay, so that's a weak hit because I rolled a 4, so a 4 plus 2 is 6. No, it only matches because it's a 10, so that's a 10. So this is a weak hit. Mark progress twice, but you expose yourself to danger. I am now in a bad spot. So I mark progress twice. Okay, so that gives me but I'm now in a bad spot. So in opening fire against them and then shifting my position, I've exposed myself to them. So I'm in a bad spot. So they start firing. So I'm reacting under fire now. Against physical attacks or impact, I may put trust in my armor strength. If I do, I preset my action dice to 4. On a strong hit with a match, take plus 2. Oh, I might use my burn momentum here. So if I burn momentum, how does that work? That replaces my action dice, doesn't it? So that means I can... Powerful option delivered to those from... After you make an action roll, you may replace... Yes, so I can replace my action dice with 10. Right. So they're opening fire back on me. The crates that I'm hiding behind, which is not theirs because they're just taking them out of their craft onto a vehicle. So they're shooting back at me on these crates. Bits of plastic wood is going up all over the place, and I'm hunkering down as they and breaking snapshots against them. So my snapshots are attempting to gain better advantage. When I bounce out and I take action in a firefight to avoid danger or overcome an obstacle in vision. So I'm pursuit, no, remaining sterile against fear or temptation. No, blocking or diverting with force or taking the hit. No. Moving into hiding or creating a distraction, not really. Changing the plan, finding a way out, or cleverly bypassing an obstacle, not really. The closest I've got is fleeing, dodging, or getting back into position, or taking cover. Edge. So I reckon it's edge. So They're shooting at me. I'm trying to duck down into cover. Cat's going insane. Cat's obviously excited, so I'm going to attempt to block down. Aija blocks down, showing out. I'm going to find out what you're doing. What is in those crates? And they're just like swearing expletives at me. Ooh, okay. I've got a matching 9 and 9, and I rolled a 2, so I think I burned my momentum. So I've got a matching 9 and 9, which is a match. So that would be a very bad thing happens to me because I would be paying the price. Or I burn my momentum, which I think this is the prime time to burn my momentum. So my momentum resets to 2, which changes my action dice to a 10. So there we go. Burn my action dice to a 10, meaning this now becomes a really strong hit. Reacting under fire, strong hit, you succeed, and so I'm back in control, and I get a +1 momentum. So I'm going to say that one of the gunman's guns jam. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to pause this select for a second. So one of the gunman's guns jams, and the fire lessens off on me for a short period of time. I think I will attempt to move forwards again. I'm going to attempt to I'm not going to charge forwards. I'm going to attempt to, in a pursuit or fleeing, roll edge. Maneuvering. I'm going to attempt to maneuver forwards. I'm not going to. Oh, I could sneak. I'm not very good at sneaking. I'm great big shiny armor. So I could try and do some wits, coordinate plans, studying the situation, cleverly getting there. So I could attempt to. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to gain advantage by shouting, "That's just a bad sign, lads. Guns jamming. Maybe it's time for just put those guns down and come quietly. I'm a member of the Paladins. We are the law." Not bad. So that was a heart, which was lucky. So I got. So I've got a strong hit. So on a strong hit, with me attempting to convince them, so I stay in control. I get to mark progress. I take a +2 momentum, and I get a +1 on my next roll. Is that right? Stay in control and a strong hit. Oh, choose 2. I choose 2. So I'm going to mark progress, take 2 momentum. Okay, they're starting to falter a bit. They're starting to be unsure. I'm going to try, and so that was me attempting. I'm going to try. Should I try and shoot them again, or I'm going to try and move forwards? I think I'm going to try and move forwards a bit closer to the vehicle. I'm going to stop that vehicle from moving forwards. So maybe I'll shoot. I can either shoot at the vehicle, or I can try and move and gain ground and move forwards. So maybe I will maneuver closer to try and get, and I've got a +1. So that no, I haven't got a +1. I'm going to attempt to maneuver forwards and get a better shot. So I do get a +1. So I'm going to attempt to maneuver forwards to get a good shot on the vehicle. So whilst trying to keep them suppressed by randomly fire, I'm going to move forwards between the crates, jump over some of the higher crates and try and get a height advantage to try and take that vehicle out so the vehicle can't get away. Because I think we're approaching a point where the vehicle will attempt to get away. If I get another couple of misses, then that vehicle is going to split. Now that might leave a crate behind, so I might still be able to find out what's in the crate, but they might get away. So I need to try and injure the vehicle to increase the probability of the chance that that vehicle can't get away. So I'm going to do a strike. No, I'm going to gain ground to give me a +1. So I'm going to attempt to climb higher and gain ground, which is a maneuver, which is an edge. So that gives me edge is 2. So that's a 6, so that's an 8. I rolled an 8. So that means that he's gaining ground is a weak hit. So I stay in control and I get a weak hit, which means that I don't get to mark progress, but I do get a +1 on my next move. Or I could mark progress. Marking progress would give me... Marking progress, I think, is better for me in the long run. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 5. I reckon I need 2 more on that to bring that down. And then I might be able to... So I'm not really looking at the box. I'm trying to bring it to justice. So I'm at the top. I've still got in control. I'm in control of the situation. I have a height advantage now, which gives me a +1. So now I'm going to attempt to shoot at the vehicle to disable the vehicle. If I disable the vehicle, then I'm in a good position. Hopefully. 5 momentum at the moment. I've got a +1 on this roll, and I've got an edge of 2. So it gives me a +3, which I rolled a... Whoa! I rolled that. So that's a strong hit. So as a strong hit, I mark progress twice. I'm dominating my foe and I stay in control. So the vehicle is shot and it's making fizzy noises. Now it still could get away because on my progress roll I could fail my progress roll. Let's say, all right, so I've got crates because they're in there. They're not looking too good. I can find out what's in the box later, but if I don't, yeah, well, there's stuff on the board, so maybe that way, if I can, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7, which means it's highly probable that I can succeed on this, but maybe not. So let's take a decisive action. When you seize an objective in a fight, envisage how you take the decisive action, then roll a challenge dice and compare to your progress. If you're in control, I am in control. So I'm in control at the moment. That's one benefit. Okay, I don't want to lose control. So at this point, I will, and that puts me about an hour's worth of jibber jabbering. At this point, Aija is going to leap down off the boxes, shoot at the other two guys with guns, whilst moving close to the vehicle and attempting to secure the vehicle. So Aija is now going to do a bounding move towards the vehicle with attempting securing the vehicle and making sure the vehicle can't get away, which means I can find out what's in the boxes. And maybe there'll be a map or something in that vehicle, which means that I can see what's in them, and then next session I can go and explore the caves. I can go back to Merrick, tell Merrick that I possibly know what's going on in the caves. There's some stuff in the caves. I don't know what it is, but we've got this deadly archive thing. So maybe it's some radioactive material. Maybe some radioactive material is in there and it's causing problems with the fungus and lichen. Let's find out. So I'm going to take a decisive move. I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have a 7. There's my dice out. A 7 progress. I'm going to attempt to do a progress move. So I'm going to attempt to secure that vehicle, which is, it's not like bringing them to justice, but it means that they can't escape from there. What we'll say is a couple of them will be hands up. I can question them, and the rest are going to retreat to their ship and take off, which means that I am starting to become, then they're going to not like me very much. Or I could try, no, I'm going to do this. Well, I'm being very decisive and creating a very decisive action. So I will be, okay, lads, you're going nowhere, she says as she slides across the bonnet. Two big plastic boots planted on the windscreen as they dive down off the crates, sliding along the bonnet. Two big plastic feet on the bonnet. Two pistols pointing into the windscreen. As the two people who are just preparing to try and get away raise their hands up, and let's see what the others do, because this might all screw up, mightn't it? All right, season objective. I've got 7. I've rolled. Yay! I rolled. Uh, 2 and a 3. Yay! Yay! Hey, doesn't balls it up. So when you see an objective, envisage how you decide the objective. Roll the challenge dice, compare it to your progress. I am in control, so it's normal. A strong hit. I prevail. Take 1 momentum. If any objectives remain and the fight continues, I am in control. Right, I take momentum. So, all right, I'm going to say, I'm going to flow this. We've got like 5 or so minutes, so I'm going to flow this. So I'm going to say the 2. I'm going to chuck some handcuffs, some plastic cuffs into the vehicle. They're going to handcuff themselves in. I'm just going to point at them, get them handcuffs themselves in. The vehicle is secured. The vehicle is going nowhere, so I've got that information. I've still got 2 people with loaders and 2 people with guns. One of them has cleared their gun. I'm going to switch this to, instead of it's what's in the box, it's going to be stop them escaping. This is now dangerous, so my formidable one, bringing them to justice. I've got at least 2 of them in justice. Let's see if I can bring the others in too and find out what's in these boxes. Well, we'll find that out next session because I'm not going to have time this time. I'm in control. Being in control of the situation, I was quite excited by this because it's all going quite well. So, they're in. The vehicle is. I'm on the bonnet of the vehicle, boots in. I can think so the rear of the vehicle would be facing them because they're loading into it. So I've slightly lost sight and focus on them. So they will attempt to maneuver around, to flank and to open fire. There's already some crates inside the vehicle, but the 2 with the crate that they were transporting are now going to back into their craft and maybe start to go in and start to open up and start to warm up the engines, get ready to leave. So they're going to attempt to leave in a hurry. So I think that if I was in a bad spot, I would be reacting to fire. So I think this is me gaining ground. So I'm going to attempt to roll off the bonnet and maneuver around and sort of counter-attack them attacking me. So coordinating a plan, studying a situation, cleverly gaining leverage. I reckon that's possibly that, which is wits, which I've also got a 2 in wits. So this is me attempting to re-maneuver myself. I'm in control, but I'm on a new track, which is stopping them escaping. Oh, that's not great. No, that's not great at all. I've got a 10 and a 7 on the challenge dice. Do you need to see it? I'll show you anyway. On the challenge dice and a 6 on the roll. So with my wits, which was wits, wasn't it? Yep. That gives me an 8, so that's a weak hit. So I'm in control, but I get a weak hit. So I'm going to give myself marking progress. They don't expect me to maneuver so cleverly. I counter flank round with picking the side with the guy who has the dodgy firearm, and I go behind cover because I am still in control because it wasn't a miss. And I am edging close to that person who is on their own. The guy on the other side is going to maneuver back around to try and maneuver onto me. So at this point, I'm going to open fire on them again to try and get them to keep their heads down because I need to get to that ship and stop the ship from taking off. So is that? No, I'm firing to try and keep their heads down. So again, it's oh, maybe we can get into, oh, I'm not really a hand-to-hand person. So I'm going to try and avoid hand-to-hand if possible, unless I get a hand-to-hand weapon, which there might be such a thing. So I'm going to attempt to maneuver around towards them, opening fire on them as I go. A 3, so a 2 and a 6 on the challenge dice, and a 3 on my roll. So it's a weak strike. So a weak hit, mark progress twice by exposed to danger, and I am now in a bad spot. So I mark progress twice, which means I've managed to get myself, so I'm on a 6 now. One more and I'm pretty good. I've managed to get myself near the ship, but there's a big space between where I was and the ship, so as I've really left myself open. Let's see, now we've got, now are they gonna, I reckon we've got, I don't know, I reckon there's a 25% chance that they're going to get really pissed off with me dodging around all the place and just try and slam into me, and I'm going to go into a hand-to-hand fight. Face danger, react under fire, clash. Okay, so I've not got face danger, I'm not right. So I've got either react under fire or clash. So I reckon there's a 25% chance they're going to engage with me, there's a 75% chance that they're going to keep shooting at me. 62, so they're still shooting at me. So I now am reacting under fire. I'm going to attempt to remain stalwart against fear or temptation. Not really. I'm really got the edge. I'm trying to dive into cover. I'm going to have to hurry up because I need to go to the juice. So reacting under fire is what I am doing, which means that I can preset my action dice to a 4, and then we'll see what happens after that. So I rolled a 3. So I'm going to preset my action dice to a 4. I've rolled a 10 and a 5 on the challenge dice, and now I have a 4. On a strong hit with a match, take +2 momentum, you build confidence, make impression on your foes, and improve your position. So no. So this is reacting under fire. I have a 4 plus my 2 for edge, gives me a 6, gives me a weak hit. I avoid the worst of the danger, or I overcome the obstacle, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move, -1. I stand up, so I'm still in a bad spot. I have to make a suffer move. Ooh, not done that. What's a suffer move? Here we go. Make a suffer move. So I've got, so it says a suffer move -1. Make a suffer move. So it's one of these. So I've got lose momentum, endure harm, endure stress, companion takes hit, no, sacrifice of horses, no, withstand damage, maybe. So we can say I'm shot. So what have I got? Endure harm when you face physical injury, fatigue, or illness. Withstand damage when your vehicle faces. No. So I've got either when I am delayed or disadvantaged. -1 momentum, so setback. No. So I'm either enduring stress when I face mental stress, strain, shock, or despair. No, I reckon I get shot. So when I face physical endure harm, so I've got, where's my armor? When you must endure harm, you instead let your armor take the hit. No, so I get shot. I endure harm. When I face physical injury, fatigue, or illness, suffer -1 health for minor harm, -2 for serious harm, or -3 for major harm. If my health is 0, lose momentum equal to the remaining harm. Then, if my health is 0, I choose to resist. Then, if my health is 0, or I choose to resist the harm, roll health or iron, whichever is higher. On a strong hit, choose 1. Shake it off. If you are not wounded, take +1 health. Embrace the pain, take +1 momentum. On a weak hit. On a miss, worse than you thought, suffer an additional, lose momentum. If health is 0, you must also not wound your opponent on the table. So, when I face physical injury, fatigue, or illness, suffer -1 health for a minor harm, -2 for serious harm, or -3 for major harm. So this is going to be a -1 or -2, isn't it? Okay, so it's a -1 or -2. Then if my health is 0, or I choose to resist the harm, roll plus health or plus iron, whichever is higher. So it's going to be plus health. On a strong, shake it off. On a weak hit, if you're not wounded, you may lose momentum. Right, okay, so I'm going to say it's serious injury. It's only my first injury. No, serious injury. All right, because I'm out in the open and we're right near the end and I'm 5 minutes over what I said I'd be anyway. And then just for the sheer hell of it, so I've got a health of 3 now. I'm going to attempt to, can I use momentum for this? I suppose so. I've got a momentum of 6. I'm going to attempt to resist the harm. Got an 8, a 2, and I rolled a 2. So that's plus my health, which is 3, which is a weak hit. If you are not wounded. Oh, I'm not wounded. So wounded is a misfortune. Wounded. So I'm not wounded. A weak hit. If you're not wounded, I'm not wounded. I may lose momentum -1 in exchange for +1 health. Otherwise, press on. I do. So I drop 2 momentum to get my 2 health back. Okay. So I have maneuvered, and so I am still, if I remember rightly, I am still in a bad spot. I have been shot up. The armor took some knocks. I fall over. I sort of shake myself off. I stand up. Sort of my momentum, the press that I was moving is slightly knocked back. I am hunkered, shaking my head behind cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm in a bad spot. I need to get into a better spot before I attempt to secure this ship. So I'm still reacting under fire. I think I'm going to attempt to do the clash. And I'm going to attempt to regain by exchanging fire. So my momentum is still only on 4. Using edge, I'm going to attempt to shoot back, try and get on top of this situation. So I'm not going to react under fire. I'm going to attempt to shoot back and regain control of the situation. So I'm going to clash with them. I rolled a 3 and I got a 1 and a 7 on the challenge dice. So that's with edge, which is a 2, which gives me a 5, which gives me a weak hit. Mark progress, but I am dealt a counter blow or setback. I stay in a bad spot and I must pay the price. So I've marked progress. I'm still in a bad spot and I have to pay the price. Pay the price. When you make the most obvious negative out, which is I get shot again. Ask the Oracle for inspired interpretation. Roll on the table below. If the result doesn't fit the situation, roll again. Let's see what happens. Let's roll. 44. The environmental terrain introduces new hazard. Okay. The boxes I was hiding behind are just shot to rubbish. I am out in the open. I am going to say that so I'm in a weak spot. I stay in a bad spot and it's profile. My cover is gone, which means that my momentum is knocked back. So I lose momentum on the situation, which was one of the things. So negative outcome. So I lose momentum. So I'm going to drop my momentum by 1, which moves me down to 3 momentum. So my cover is gone, which means that I have to react under fire next. Mark progress, which I'm getting both. So I'm reacting under fire, which means I'm going to attempt to get to that ship. I'm going to charge the ship, reacting under fire. That's maneuvering, which I don't get the +1. So I'm going to attempt to get to the ship, try and get the upper hand, so then I can secure the ship next go. So this is getting, trying to get control of this situation. Oh, damn, it's a weak hit. So I rolled a 4 plus my edge, which gives, because I am attempting to maneuver, which gives me a 6, and I've got a 3 and a 10. So a weak hit. I avoid the worst situation, overcome obstacle, but not without cost. Make a suffer move at -1, which means I'm going to get shot again. Suffer move at -1, so this is 2 health. Maybe last time it should have been 1 health, and this time it's 2 health because I haven't got cover. So in trying to get towards that ship, I am quite shot. I am going to roll health, which is a 3 to try and shake it off, which gives me an 8 versus a 9 and a 5. So that's a weak hit. I don't trade momentum for health. I just press on. So I'm injured now. I'm injured. The armor's given up. I'm reacting under fire. I could have done that, couldn't I? So instead, I'm going to. So when I have a clash, I react under fire or face danger. I have to remember that. So basically, when I'm in a bad spot, I can switch it for 4. All right, I am going to attempt to. I need to get an upper hand. I could either see, because if I take a decisive action. Suppose, all right, I'm going to attempt to take a decisive action. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8. All right. So because I'm in a bad spot, the best I can get is a weak hit. Because if I'm in a bad spot, I can strong hit without a match as a weak hit, and a weak hit as a miss. So if I roll an 8, 9, or 10, no, I need to go 1 more. I need 1 more progress. Even if I'm in a bad spot. So I'm going to start shooting. I'm just going to stand. I'm going to open up massively against them. I've only got a momentum of 3. So I'm going to open up fire against them. I've rolled a 3 against a challenge of a 7 and a 5. So that's not good. That's not good. So with the clash, can I do, what's that with? Clash. Ha! Yes, that's okay. So I get to trade my 3 that I rolled for 4 because of my armor. So they're shooting at me. So that 4 plus 2 for my edge gives me a 6, which beats the 5 but not the 7. So this is a weak hit. Mark progress, but I am dealt a counterblow or setback. I stay in a bad spot and must pay the price. I think the most obvious one is that I take some damage. So I'm going to go down to 2 health. Not good, not good at all. I am not going to attempt to resist the damage, but I'm so now in a bad spot, but I am at the ship. I am going to attempt to secure the ship. So if I secure the ship, they're all going to come quietly because they can't escape me, and the 2 station-borne security are going to come. Of course, I'm in a bad spot. I don't know, I'll roll it and then I'll interpret it. A nice, so what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 there. Can I have 10? Or is 9 the maximum? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Let's double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 10. So I've got 10 progress. I've rolled a 9 and 3. So that means I beat both, which is a strong hit. Now a strong hit knocks itself down to a weak hit. A weak hit, I achieve my objective but not without cost. Roll on the table below or choose one if the fight continues. So the fight doesn't continue. So I'll roll on the table below. 70. Others pay the price. Someone else suffers the cost. All right. So what we'll have is it won't be here, but at some point when I go to speak, others suffer the cost. So they got a chance to call out, and so cursor or the other loader will suffer that cost. Now, I know I mentioned that Cursor Car had a daughter, but one of the things that I don't like is things happening to children. I don't like that. I watched Breaking Bad up until the point the small child in the nappy walked in and turned the television on. And at that point, I thought the contract that I had taken out with Breaking Bad, that there were certain things that were happening within the story which were bad things, but I understood those bad things, the ramifications of those bad things, and children were not involved in that. But yeah, his son, but his son was older. And nothing bad happened to his son. His son had bad things, but he was in control of his situation. This small child not being in control and suffering because of his parents was something I didn't sign on for. And so I stopped watching Breaking Bad. I still haven't finished watching it. That was years ago. So I'm not going to do anything to Cursor's daughter. Something will happen to Cursor. And we don't know what that is yet. So we've got that others suffer the cost. But we succeeded. I don't know what that means. I know what that means. That means that I am going to mark progress to our uncover the criminal corruption. I'm going to mark one set of progress. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make one progress towards uncover the criminal corruption. So we have a ship. We have their ship. We have some boxes. We have the transport vehicle. And we have 6 prisoners. So, next session, we will question prisoners, talk to the local security who have just turned up, and we're going to examine the boxes, see what's in the boxes, and see where the transport vehicle is going. Sweet. All right. And that